let's talk about hormones and hormone function. Someone asked if they decline over time. That is a well-established fact. They do decline over time. Just your male's testosterone tends to lower at a certain point. Just everything for their function tends to lower over time. They peak as you get into your teens, maybe 20s, and then they start to lower over time. A big part of me doesn't really accept the truth of that. Obviously, it happens, right? Like I argued with one of the doctors I used to work with about this a little bit. So they do, testosterone lowers, right? But today I read something where it said a 20-year-old's testosterone today is something like what a 60-year-old was over 50. I think it was 60-year-olds was 50 years ago. So there's clearly something happening that's messing with our hormones. And there's a lot of different things to look into as far as what's causing this, what can fix it. It's a deep rabbit hole to go down, but you don't want to get too lost in it and just cut all these different things out of your life. But there's a lot to think about. One of the things that people say is part of it is the hormones given to, say, things like cattle, where we get a lot of our milk dairy products from, or your steaks and whatnot. A lot of this stuff, these animals are bigger than they used to be. It's not a natural thing that they're bigger than they used to be. And so that's maybe what's to blame for a lot of, or for part of the decline. I'd even read that with pushing to go get rid of tobacco actually does something that makes people's testosterone a little bit higher. Both men and women are supposed to have a healthy level of testosterone based on their born gender. And that's it. Tobacco can help your testosterone stay a little bit higher. So maybe with the push to get rid of tobacco, that has caused testosterone to lower. Not that I'm suggesting chewing tobacco or smoking. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying there's different factors. The pesticides that are sprayed all over our crops and that we have to wash off before we eat have also been known to just really cause a lot of problems. Again, you can look this stuff up. These rabbit holes go up sometimes, and people suggesting it's on purpose and whatnot. I don't really think that. I think that we're just using different things, trying out different things on ourselves. More company will try something, a different type of pesticide, and then we see that it causes a lot of problems down the road. And so we can hopefully do stuff about that. But with the decline of our hormones, the part that I say that I don't really accept that it's just like that is because of all these things I've already mentioned. We can see that part of what's happening is we're doing things that cause it to lower. On top of that, people say you just have knee problems when you're 40. Problem with that is not every country, not every area has the same problems at a certain age. So then you have to factor in, well, we do here in America. And if you read the book Born to Run, you see these guys up into the age of 60 something running 100-mile runs. No problem, no knee problems, no ankle problems. And the guy, the author of that book would suggest it's because of the sandals they wear, a thin sole. You're basically barefoot. It's full thin sole strapped to your foot in a certain way. You can go read the book again. It's called Born to Run. And the prevalence of these shoes we wear that kind of squish your toes together is an unnatural formation of your foot, according to the author. And so if you do things, and I agree with it, if you do things to spread your toes back out and go more barefoot, it can help your ankle to function better, which will help your knees to function better, which just helps everything function better. So when people say, oh, your hormones is lower, they do here when you study this area and a lot of areas. I'm not saying they don't. Again, I just don't think they should dip so drastically. And there's clearly something changing over the decades that is causing them to drop lower faster and at a younger age. Same with knee problems, same with a lot of things. So aside from looking into this and, what you can do to combat it and going too far down in these rabbit holes, don't get lost in them and all the pesticides and the arguments people have against them. And though I'd rather farm my own stuff, grow my own stuff, we do a little bit here. But what you can do is, first of all, try to get rid of a lot of the unnatural stuff. So as much as you can, the frozen dinners, Hot Pockets. I'm not trying to throw shade on Hot Pockets. I'm just saying a lot of the unnatural stuff we have, even protein bars, they sound healthy, right? It has protein in the name and everyone's all about protein these days. I notice when I eat a lot of that stuff, there's a lot of ingredients in there that's not their natural state. I feel bloated if I eat too much of that stuff. I feel bloated when I eat a bunch of fake sweeteners. I feel bloated when I eat a bunch of protein bars. I feel bloated if I have 2 energy drinks. I could have 1 in a day. But I'll start to, it's almost like your body is just not sure what to do with this stuff. And it's harder for your body to process everything when you put a bunch of crap in it. So try to eat natural foods and check your hormone levels, get your blood work done. Um, and then make some changes and then get your hormone levels checked again. Read about what can I do from a dietary standpoint to increase my hormones and then make those changes and you can get rechecked. Here where I live, it's $40 to get my testosterone checked. Make sure your vitamin D is good. There's a strong correlation with vitamin D and testosterone. Testosterone is obviously going to help you feel really good in the gym and have a great time working out. So it's important, males and females, that they have a healthy testosterone level. There's a very strong correlation to that and vitamin D, like I said. So you can get some sunlight. That's the best kind of vitamin D to get. But if your vitamin D is low, if you get it checked, again, here in my town, it's $40 to get it checked. If you find out it's low, you can take some supplemental vitamin D. Um, Arguable how much you take. I'm not an expert. This is not medical advice, but I take 20,000 a day. And I think that taking a higher number on a more regular basis is becoming more commonplace. Okay. Don't get too crazy with it. Don't go taking 50,000 a day, but take a little more than you do, or take some period and get it checked to make sure it's in a normal, healthy range. So, and again, read up on a few different things, ask your doctor and read up on a few different things of what they suggest as a normal range. Cause I've seen different things suggest that's what I think is too low. They would call that normal. But just look at one source, go with multiple sources. Change up your diet, eat more natural, healthy foods, eat a balanced diet, see if that helps things go in the right direction. That'll definitely help lower a person's body fat percentage. I believe that helps your hormones balance out too, lowering body fat. Vitamin D, huge. On top of that, there's even a lot of studying being done these days. I'm sure you guys have seen the studies being done on sauna and cryotherapy, so cold therapy. So basically making your body uncomfortably warm. It's comfortable at first, but then it becomes uncomfortably warm sometimes in the sauna, and uncomfortably cold. Those exposures to those extreme temperatures make your body do something where the stuff just kicks in a little extra. You get extra growth hormone from sauna. It's well established. It helps with longevity. And cold exposure. Wim Hof, I'll read some of his stuff. Becoming the Iceman. It's a great book. The guy is like poetic the way he writes sometimes. It's a really good book. Highly recommend it. And all the cold therapy and the absolute wonders it's done for people, reversing like prostate enlargements, just crazy stuff. When you just get out there and experience the world, experience really cold, experience really hot, go work out, which is another thing. If you are working out on a normal, regular basis, your body is meant to do certain things. So if you give it that, it will function well. The second you don't move all that well, or that much at all, your hormones will probably start to dip off even more. It's just like a muscle starts to atrophy when you don't use it very much, right? It gets smaller, you get weaker when you don't go work out all the time. In the same sense, I think the body responds, and just if you don't move very much, there's no need for this testosterone. I guess we'll just slow down on production of that. So you go get moving, tell your body, hey, I want to move more. Your body goes, oh, okay, we'll increase it. And then say, hey, I want to move even more. Okay, we'll increase it more. You just do all the right things in the right direction. I can, of course, help with that. So get a lot of people online, a lot of online coaches, help with dietary recommendations, how to move well, what kind of workouts to do. And just main thing is it's fun. Looking into this stuff shouldn't be a chore. It should be fun. You don't notice your hormones are low. People take that and they go, oh, dang it. My hormones are low. They're off. This sucks. Guess what you have? You have a wonderful opportunity to pull yourself out of that. And once you do, you can be this amazing prime example to so many other people of when you get to that point, your hormones aren't that balanced, all the easy, just good steps you took in the right direction that got things better. And that can be really helpful for a lot of people. I'm all about shoulder health. If my shoulders just naturally functioned really well and weren't double jointed, I wouldn't necessarily be that way. I can help a lot of people with their shoulder issues because of the issues I've had in the past. These bad things can be a good thing. Quote unquote bad things can be a good thing. There are some supplements you can take. I'm not a huge supplement person, maybe a little vitamin D. I'll experiment with some really natural stuff. I listen to Andrew Huberman, Dr. Andrew Huberman, great guy to Google, look him up. He talks about hormone function all the time. He mentioned some natural supplements. I'm currently taking them just to see if they give me a little help. I'm not about synthetic stuff. I don't recommend that unless, your hormones are really low and your doctor suggests it. Do your research and maybe devise a plan with you and your doctor. And so that would be the last thing though. I would definitely recommend if you're doing all the things you should be doing, all the normal stuff, you're eating right, you're moving your body, You tried some cryotherapy, you tried some sauna therapy, you tried all these different things and it's still out of whack and you're doing all the normal stuff. Then maybe go to your, hold on, the Roomba's been dead. Saying save me. So then if you're doing all the right things, if you're doing everything the way that you're supposed to, at least as best as you know from the research you've done, from the things you've heard from me and other people, and it's still low, there's always your doctor. You can go do some hormone replacement therapy, maybe get a little jump start in the right direction, and that's fine. But anytime you take an outside source of hormones, unless you really need it, I'm not trying to bash it. But whenever you do that, you tell your body, like your testosterone wants to be here. So you can do all these natural things to get it there and that your body will be happy there. Whenever you give it, you make it here all of a sudden, your body, I only wanted it here and now it's all the way up here. Your body stops doing the things it's supposed to do to produce it. You just don't need guys that take it's like anabolic steroids, let's say, guys that take that stuff, they even sleep less. They say things like, you need to get up at 4 a.m. and go get things done. Bro, you're on anabolic steroids, your testosterone's through the roof. So you sleep 5 or 6 hours and you feel fine. But your average person isn't taking that stuff. So you shouldn't be recommending that. It's a bad recommendation. That's another point though, sleep. I talked about it in my last podcast, maybe the one before. Sleep is huge, absolutely massive. Going to bed at the same time every night, getting up the same time every day. The more you do that, you go into deeper and deeper sleep. It's more restorative and your hormones, your immune system, but mainly we're talking about hormones here today, they balance out. They do what they're supposed to do. And if you get crummy sleep, if you're having trouble with it, definitely look into how to get better sleep so that your hormones aren't so out of whack. Yes, they do decline over time, but there are so many things to me that would indicate that for a lot of people, they're declining too fast and they shouldn't be sure they should lower. They shouldn't lower as much as they are with a lot of people. So try the things I recommended. If it does something, but you need more, go get help somewhere. That can be a thing. And again, as always, have fun with it. Don't stress about it. The stress actually lowers the testosterone and whatnot too. So don't over stress about it. You just try and figure out what you can. And who cares where you're at? It's only going to get better. Or if you try something and it doesn't work at all, hey, now you know that doesn't work. So it's still a step in the right direction to me. All right. Till next time, you guys, take care.